So for today's video, it's just me, and I'm going to take you through a little bit of my morning routine as I research these true crime cases. And I know, I can hear the comments, read the comments right now. I know it's coming. This is not what I signed up for. This is not why I subscribe. I want true crime. Give me the blood and guts and gore. I want that. Well, I hate to disappoint you, so go ahead and just turn this off right now and unsubscribe. This is me. It is currently 7:07 a.m. Now, I've been awake for 4 hours. I can't show you the morning part of it that I do because it's pretty boring, and all I'm doing is sending emails and I'm checking different websites and databases for documentation on cases that I'm actually reviewing. So this is my wife's computer and her desk, and I can't remember what the poster above it is, and those lovely green curtains that she has up in here. But this is an area that's just off my living room. I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee. And the reason why I'm doing this morning is because, well, I'm at home alone with my child, and I do not have a babysitter today because, well, of COVID outbreak. It's hard to find daycare. So I'm gonna get a cup of coffee, and excuse the mess of my life, but this is really how I live. Refrigerator. You may see a dog or two walk around in the background. I've got dogs, I've got cats. It's the only animals we have. Speaking of dogs, that's my dog. That's Lucky the dog. But I don't really have much to say other than, I was going through and I was looking at statistics for crime rates that jumped up in 2020. The numbers are not in completely, but the numbers that are out there are not exactly what I would call great. Sorry if I'm moving the camera, and I gotta put the legs for the tripod out. The thing that this camera is on is it's a tripod, but it's also a selfie stick thing, and it's got motion sensor in here. Here, I'm shaking the table right now. It's got the motion stabilization on it, so the camera stays still at all times. It's a 3-axis gimbal, I think they call it. But anyways, it's a really nice chair my wife has. This thing has massage and lumbar support, and it's got a leg thing that comes out in it. It's a gaming chair, and that's her stupid, curtain thing in the background there. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of like fairy scene from some movie. But anyway, so I was looking at crime statistics and the surprising numbers that have come out when it comes to violent crimes against children in 2020. An increase across the board, and the couple of states stayed about the same, but in general, the statistics, and numbers that were reported to the police department, and along with numbers that were reported to child welfare agencies, CPS, or child advocacy groups, where crimes against children skyrocketed in a lot of areas across the United States. But on top of that, though, the lack of care, no daycare, no school, no, or not, I shouldn't say no, but there was some daycare in some areas, but as COVID outbreaks, soared, more and more daycares closed. And case in point, for myself today, on Friday, I can't get someone to watch my son so I can finish my videos today because, well, the COVID outbreaks right now, and everybody's freaking scared because they're like, hey, little children, they're vectors. They are, patient zero, basically, in the outbreak. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. That's what they believe. So all the daycare places are closed. And So here I sit with the 4-year-old, and I have to watch him because he's a little daredevil, and I never know what he's going to do next. If he's going to throw himself off of the top of the bookcase or entertainment center, I don't know. You know, he climbs up on things, and he likes to jump. And I don't know if he's always expecting that I'm going to be able to catch him when I'm across the room, but he does. You know, and if you have children, you know, especially boys, you know just how much of a bunch of daredevils and they're going to be. And then I don't need him to break an arm or a leg between now and the time my wife gets home. So, hey, honey, I know he was completely unbroken when you left, but, well, he's broken now. So, but when it came to nutrition and food distribution to children of school age, it was very depressing. Just how many children, especially in larger inner city and rural areas. So, but there seems to be a discrepancy between, you know, those who were in inner city got less food aid and less nutritional meals in this inner city, and then those who were in the more rural areas had the same issues. But in between, like middle class, they were able to, you know, keep up with food aid and distribution. Some schools made bag lunches and handed them out, you know, via school buses or pickup, you know, locations for so children still were able to eat. But in overall, in a large majority of areas across the United States in 2020, it fell very short. They weren't able to make the same nutritious meals and give them out to children. And then there was the weekends where there was no guarantee that the children would be eating on the weekends. They tried in a lot of areas if they had funding to give them extra meals on Fridays for pickup or, you know, distribution wise, so they, you know, there would be something for the children to eat on the weekends. But it fell short. You know, when you have an unprecedented, you know, number of unemployment, you know, in America, and places being shut down, even if mom and dad had a job, hours cut back, and if they were in the service industry, they lost their jobs, you know, in a lot of places as the governors closed restaurants and other places where their parents may have worked. I mean, you know, unless they worked in a big box retail center, even small businesses were forced to close, and people just weren't able to make a go of it. And then, you know, what little aid the government gave in stimulus checks and unemployment wasn't anything you could count on, because a lot of states ran out of money for unemployment benefits, and then the government, you know, played, like, you know, with like a dangling carrot out in front of you that they were going to help you, and they offered 6 cents a day, you know, or, you know, even less than that, you know, for the entire period of time that people were unemployed, you know, or in stimulus check. How far did that $600 stimulus check go for you and your family? Even if you're just one individual, how long did they expect you to live on $600? You know, is it right for the government to bail us out? Well, you'd have to be a complete monster to think that people can live on $600. You'd have to be a complete monster and completely heartless to think that anybody was going to be able to make it for any extended period of time on the benefits. And you're even worse if you sit there and you say, look, these are social programs, you know, and it's communism or it's socialism, you know, if you help people out. I'm sorry that the camera's going in and out here on the focus. The lighting in my house in here is all those LED or whatever the hell they call them, and the camera is trying to focus, and that's why it's going dark light, dark light, dark light, because, well, it's not exactly the kind of studio lights that I would normally use with this camera. I guess I could play around with it for a couple hours and then try to make this video, but I normally upload my videos at 10 a.m. and this one will get up by 11. So, and you know, that's the way it works. Normally I would have somebody here to watch my son, you know, the mother-in-law, my daughter, my wife, or a babysitter, and I'd be able to bring him to a local daycare, but not today. Everybody's either working or they're closed or they don't want to come near a child because of COVID right now. And, I can't really blame them. And when it comes right down to it, I'd rather be here with my son and watch him and be able to spend the time with him. And I hope that, the majority of people can understand, my view. I didn't do a video for yesterday. You didn't expect this video today. But, a little bit more on the crime statistics and numbers that are coming out of 2020. Across the board, besides violence against children skyrocketing, domestic violence within households in some areas saw a double fold in numbers. For those who are, I have to preface that with, according to the FBI, not all states have reported, and only there are, I think, 6 states total that do not do digital. They don't digitally send their information to the FBI for crime statistics gathering. They send in actual reports, and every state has the option to send either or. So, but those 6 states never send digital. They always send actual physical reports in on crime statistics. But excluding those states, the states that do have digital reporting and have reported, some states are showing a double fold in domestic violence. On top of that, the most alarming thing, and probably aids to both of those statistics of crime rates against children and crime rates against, spouses that increase, is the sheer number of alcohol and drug abuse reported cases and the skyrocketing amount of drug and alcohol abuse. Either people who were brought to the hospital for ODs or extreme alcohol poisoning skyrocketed. Excuse me. Again, this is unedited. This is just me. But it's not surprising. Human beings are social animals. We need to socialize. And even if you're not using alcohol and drugs, you need to socialize with other people. You close them off, for 6 months, 8 months, and you tell them don't go anywhere, stay at home with your family. Turmoil that was already in the family has a tendency to boil over. It gets worse, and it's not just here in America, ladies. This is this is around the world. COVID shutdown was everywhere. COVID knew no differences of borders. For what may have started in Wuhan, it made its way to the west coast of the United States and the east coast of the United States pretty quick, because that's the world we live in. With the invent and the accessibility to world travel and people being able to go from one place to another. I mean, you get something like COVID, you can, let's just use me as an example. I could get COVID, not have any symptoms of it, and be able to give it to other people. And I can, get on an airplane with 116 people and give it to maybe 30 people who are sitting in my general area on the plane, because they pack you in like a sardine in those damn airplanes. And then I land in Heathrow Airport, and then Heathrow, I may encounter another 20 people, at Heathrow, and then I get on my connecting flight. Now I might be close proximity to another 30 people. And that's if I don't get anything to eat and go to, a gift shop or anything else in Heathrow. Might affect anything else. But that's one person, and how one person spreads it to so many others. And they get it, and then each one of them contacts somebody else. That's how COVID spreads, man. And it spreads like that. And then there are the people out there who, even after the development, and we had the, understanding, look, wear a mask, clean your hands, distance yourself from other people. People just didn't listen or believe that it was real. And that's real. Case in point, how I caught COVID, and what it did to me. And on that side note, though, side note to that, I have a lot of people who ask me still to this day, do I have any lingering side effects of the COVID? And it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I may look like a healthy individual, but I'm not. I haven't been healthy since, well, Jesus, 20 years. I don't have anything that's going to necessarily kill me tomorrow, but as I've gotten older, I mean, what is a side effect of COVID that, if you look at the list of possible side effects of COVID, what doesn't match along with, getting old, or just, maybe a poor dietary plan like I do, you know, but I already have damage to my lungs that is related to my service. It's service connected, and on top of that, I'm a smoker. So, what damage did the COVID do on top of those? That's hard to tell. Do I have any other lingering side effects? I mean, I've noticed since I've had COVID, I definitely have a lot more joint pain. But then again, I've already had, I already have rheumatoid arthritis, and I take, medication and stuff like that, and I damn near dip myself in Aspirin every night and every morning, just to survive life. And that and Tiger Balm, and Blue Emu. I mean, I've used just about everything over the counter you can to try to relieve some of the pain from rheumatoid arthritis. But rheumatoid arthritis runs in my family, and here I am, with rheumatoid arthritis. Is it a side effect? Did COVID make it worse? I don't know, but joint pain is listed as one of the side effects of the COVID. Of the corona, or as the racist people like to call it, the Kung flu, whatever. It's racist to call it the Kung flu, and it was wrong to call it the Spanish flu too, because it gives a negative, aspect to the people where it actually started from. You can believe it came from a laboratory or came from somebody eating a bat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect my life one goddamn bit of where it came from. I just know it's out there, and I know I got it, and it damn near freaking killed me. And how much the total effects of my life, and everybody around me, it affected, and how many people I know personally who have died from COVID. Between me and my wife, we now know 12 people who have died. And 12 people who were in good health. Sure, some of them were in the later years of their lives, and I mean later years of their lives as in being over the age of 60. Not 80, not 90, not 144, but 60, 61, 63, somewhere in there. Yeah, about half of them were from there. The other half were in their 50s, and they're dead. Their families are mourning still the loss of their family. And the worst part is a friend of ours, Carolyn, who died of COVID. She got it from her grandson, 22 years old, who believed that COVID wasn't real. Still doesn't believe it's real. He got it, went to see his, the family, gave it to her. She got it, and she's dead. And she wasn't the only one that got it. He gave it to everybody who was there at the home that day, all 4 people. But she's dead. And he still believes that COVID is made up, that it's overblown, that the numbers are not right, that the statistics are out there, that it's the 99% success rate, or whatever he wants to tout online. And he's real, and there are more people like him. But this is my life, ladies and gentlemen. This is my happy home. I'd show you my happy wife, but she's not here. She's at work, and you can see her every Sunday on our podcast, the Taco Podcast. Or it's actually, the name of the channel is Taco Podcast, not the Taco Podcast. But it's, my house is a mess. I have a 4-year-old who terrorizes the house. I got to show you this really quick. So, in my wife's infinite wisdom, she decided that it would be a great idea to buy my son a ball pit. You know, a ball pit like they have at Chuck E. Cheese, or Dave and Buster's, or alike places. A ball pit. So she bought him a ball pit. There are 8,000 of these little plastic balls all over my house. Red, green, purple, blue, 2 different shades of blue. All over my house. And then this is my living room. Well, it's destroyed right now. He took all the cushions off the couch and started to take the covers off of the cushions because he saw me do it. He spilled apple juice all over one, and I took the cover off. So while I was putting it in the laundry, he decided that I'm going to take the cover off the next one. Until I stopped him. I said, "No, little man, we do not take the covers off of the cushions on the couch." But this is my life. This is me. This is kind of a sneak peek behind the actions. So I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. Give you a rundown of my day. I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. I don't have an alarm clock. Don't use a cell phone. Don't use anything to wake up. I wake up like that every morning at 4 a.m. I'm wide awake. And there's no reason to stay in bed as long, once I'm awake. So, I can just sit there and lay in bed and stare at the ceiling. That ain't fun. So I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. Come downstairs. I got my coffee maker. It's already a drip coffee maker, but it's got an alarm on it, so it's set for 3:50 a.m. and it makes the coffee. So by the time I get down here at 4, that 10 minutes later after it's made the coffee, and brewed, it's just finishing up the brew pot. I then go feed my cats. One gets fed out on the porch. One gets fed inside in the kitchen, in a little nook area by the pantry. Feed the cats. Then after I feed the cats, I got one cat who's kind of my wife calls him a dick because he headbutts everything and everybody. And it's like, hey, pet me, pet me, pet me. Then once you pet him, he wants to sink his claws into you. But he's always been that way ever since I rescued him. But he's walking away from me right now. But feed the cats, and I feed the dogs. And the dogs have electronic collars, so they can come and go through the pet door anytime they want. So they can go. I don't have to let them outside. And most mornings I then take my dog for a walk down to, we have a city park that's not too far from here. We walk around the park, a couple of times. And then back usually takes about 30, 40 minutes right in there. And bring him back, give him a treat. And then he eats his treat. And then I have to give the other 3 dogs a treat. They won't go for a walk with you. You can drag them, but they won't go for a walk with you. They will absolutely refuse. They walk outside on the front porch and they stop. And they plant their butts on the ground and they will not walk. I've tried, but most of these dogs are, they're, well, she's lucky. You've seen it earlier a little bit of. He is 23 human years old. So whatever that is in doggy years, it's up there. So then I give the other dogs a treat. And then I hit the computer. Sit there on the computer, I do my research, I send emails back and forth. I contact people who are on the East Coast, or maybe they're in, the Middle East. I have an uncle who is in the Middle East who's working at an oil refinery center over there. And I try to keep in contact with him to make sure he's still alive and kicking, and someone hasn't decided to behead him. Because, well, the violence that is there is, way out of control. And I do that, and then I work on my video. I write my script out. I put it, I have to type it out on the teleprompter. And yeah, I actually have a teleprompter that sits behind the screen that I read my notes off of. And I've been asked to show the teleprompter or show how to make one. I made it out of a picture frame, and a can of spray paint, and a piece of that plastic construction board stuff that comes inside of packaging. I think I spent all $3 on making it. I mean, you can go ahead and buy one, but the one that I made works just as well as the ones that you buy on Amazon. Because I'm industrial, make things to get by. Even though I have the money to buy stuff, doesn't mean I have to waste my money on it when I have the stuff just sitting around. Garbage. The picture frame cost me $1 at the dollar store. Just a regular glass picture frame. Now I take the stupid stock photo out of it, throw it in the trash. So once I get everything on the typed into the for the teleprompter, because it's just a tablet that slides in there, and it reflects off the glass so you can actually see it. And then you use a mouse to scroll to make it go by. So you just use the mouse, so you're scrolling on the mouse wheel, and then the words slowly go by. Yeah, I see it, I know it, but I try to memorize the actual script, and all I put on there is the bullet points that I want to make sure that I get through on a video. And then I shoot the video in rough draft. I then take a break. I try to come inside and have breakfast. Usually about that time, it's 10:30 in the morning. My son is up and awake, and then I make him breakfast if my wife hasn't already. But he likes to eat the same thing every morning. He likes to eat French toast with no syrup, nothing on it at all. Just plain French toast, cut into like French toast sticks, like little sticks, and he eats them. Or he likes to have just oranges and bacon. So I'll make him bacon. It's not that he's picky. He'll eat whatever the hell we make. It's just those are his preferred ones, and I try to make it for him at least twice a week. Make him what he likes, and then the rest of the week, and weekend, he eats what everybody else is eating. But he knows that Daddy, will make him something, and I come inside and get another cup of coffee, and make him breakfast, and then after breakfast, I go back and I start editing the actual rough cut video footage that I shot. So, and then the rest of the day is emails, responding to comments on YouTube. And I'm again, ladies and gentlemen, I am truly sorry if I miss your comments. I try my damnedest to reply back to as many comments as I can. But when you look at the comment section and see how many you get, if you're me, in a given week, I might get 1,100, 1,500 comments between all, and I'm talking about YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, all social media platforms. 1,100 to 1,500 messages, plus about 3,000 emails. People wanted me to, do product reviews. They want to sponsor videos. They want to do this or that, or they want more information, about this, or they want me to help them start channels. And don't get me wrong, I want to help everybody. I mean, I believe everybody should have a voice and be out there. If you want to put up, your content, I'll help you as much as I can, technically from a distance. Or explain, how certain things on YouTube work. And I'll try my best, but I can't get to everybody. I can't answer every email. I have something like 11,000 emails in my inbox right now, and just trying to keep, a lid on what I have now is amazing. And some Sundays and Saturdays, me and my wife will sit down. She'll sit here at her computer, and I'll be out there, and we'll take a couple hours, when my daughter is home, just to go through and answer as many emails or filter out the junk mail from my inbox. And when I say junk mail, it's companies that want me, to make content, make a sponsored video just for them, and their, service where you can get, criminal records on somebody, but they want to sponsor a video or a series of videos and they want me to send them the script first to be reviewed before I make the content, so to make sure that it fits with their, agenda. Right in the trash it goes. Well, this is my video for today. Again, I have another video that I've completely shot and edited and everything else. I need to add a couple things to, but I'll probably get that up Saturday morning. Hope you enjoyed my brief little tour and me rambling for a half an hour. Stay safe out there, everybody. Until next time.